Hello, this is Rory with the Love Chat, and today's topic is how to heal. Now, this is video number 136. If you have a question you'd like for me to consider featuring on the channel, please write it in a comment below. And if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe and hit like. Also, if you'd like to do a Skype or email coaching, be sure to visit my website, thelovechat.net/coaching. Now then, let's talk about how to heal. This comes in many different forms, and I think what's really important to remember when we're thinking about healing is that we want to heal in such a way where we give ourselves the tools and create a foundation that can be used for any type of healing, not just getting over a breakup, but getting past perhaps a death in the family, grieving something unfortunate that happened in your life. So let's talk about that. Now, this video will require some active participation, so I'm going to say a list of words. And what I want you to do after I'm done saying these words is pause the video, write them all down on a sheet of paper, and let's work together on this one. Here's the words: physical, emotional, recreational, monetary, intellectual, travel, and social. So what we're going to do with these words that we've just written down is we're going to treat them as categories, things that we need to work on in order to begin to heal ourselves, and, like I said earlier, to create the blueprint of how to successfully heal in areas outside of breakups, in any sort of grief that's happening to you in your life. So let's start with physical. This one should seem pretty obvious, but for those people who need some ideas, I'll list some ideas for each of these categories. Physical, simply put, is working on your physical body. The question should be phrased, what can I begin doing today to increase my physical well-being? So, the most obvious one is going to the gym. Perhaps going for a long walk. Doing some stretching or some yoga. These are all really helpful things that will begin increasing your physical health, therefore increasing your health as a person. The next on the list is emotional. And hopefully this one's pretty obvious too. But again, we must phrase the question, what can I begin doing today to increase my emotional well-being? All of these things together lead up to an emotionally healthy self. So, this could be something more along the lines of journaling. Going for long walks, not necessarily in order for physical health, but it is a good side effect. More for the emotional benefits. I personally find that retreating back to nature is a very helpful thing. It helps you clear your mind and focus on nothing but what you see and what you hear, which is usually green trees and grass and birds and animals. This helps us relax and be more emotionally at peace. Counseling and cognitive behavioral therapy will be a very good option available to many of you. And even if it's just talking it out with friends and family, the point is to vent, to allow some of these feelings inside of your head to let out. Get some of the air out of the balloon. These things will help you emotionally. I mentioned it in a lot of my videos and earlier, a journal is always a great place to start. Because again, it's a new medium of allowing yourself to vent and to grieve. We don't necessarily want to avoid these feelings. We just want to give them some airtime and then be able to pick ourselves up and do something else. The next on the list is recreational. What are you doing that's fun, that has nothing to do with getting an ex back? Is it video games, or perhaps going to a class where you can focus on a martial art? Maybe a cooking class. Maybe it's just watching your favorite TV show or taking yourself out to Starbucks and getting a drink. What are you doing that's recreational and fun and that allows you to just smile? For me, it's reading and video games and hiking. I love these things, not because they're healthy, just because I like doing them. After that, monetary. What are you doing and what can you begin doing that's good for your monetary health, for your wallet? Now, a lot of you might be thinking, well, what does this have to do with getting an ex back or getting over grief? Well, initially it has nothing to do with it, but I think we can all agree that we feel better with some extra money in our wallet. This one can go several different ways. It could be working an extra hour or two at your job. That way you can see some extra money in your paycheck. It could be picking up a second job, even something simple, like dog sitting or driving an Uber, for example. Or it could be something along the other lines, where perhaps you are more tight with your money, and rather than making big, lavish purchases, instead you find ways to tighten your belt and save extra money. That way you feel good, just in case the worst should happen. But whatever this is, remember that we want balance in everything. Don't be too tight with your money. Be able to treat yourself once in a while. A callback to that recreational column that we said. Next is intellectual. This one's a bit more difficult, but I think if I explain it properly, you guys will understand. What are you doing that's stimulating you intellectually? Are you just waking up, going to work, coming home, watching Netflix, going to bed? Because if that's the case, you're caught in a routine. Nothing is piquing your interest. For this, I recommend something pretty straightforward. It could start with taking a class, or maybe even picking up a new book. For those of you, I recommend a few, and that will be in a future video, where I'll be reviewing different books that I find to be helpful, especially during times of breakups, and even books just to learn more about behavior. Intellectual is important because you need to be stimulating your brain somehow. Otherwise, your brain will, at this time, have a proclivity to drift back towards the thing that you're sad about. Remember, we want to give those feelings some airtime, but we also want to be able to move away from those feelings. The biggest thing that will help here is time, but everything on that list will also help make time go faster, because right now, I'm sure you know that time is slowing down so very much for you. So let's focus on the next one. Travel. There is a big blue earth, and the majority of us have only seen, 10% of it, maybe not even that. Some of us haven't even left our home state or country. So, travel. Go somewhere. Do something new that scares you. In fact, if you save up enough money when you're focusing on your money through saving more or working more, you are very much able to go somewhere, plan a trip. If traveling around the globe and exploring our huge planet does anything, it reminds us of how small we truly are, and sometimes that has a vast healing effect on our problems. It reminds us that we have so much to be thankful for, and that there's so much out there that can still amaze us, and that has a very big healing property to it. And so if you can, travel somewhere. I personally am planning a trip to Japan, and I cannot wait to go, and you bet I will be doing a live stream when I'm there. The last on this list is social. What are you doing to increase your social health? When's the last time you went out on a meetup? When's the last time you reconnected with an old friend you haven't spoken to in a couple of months, or a different friend that perhaps you lost contact with while you were in the relationship? When's the last time you threw a party at your house for no reason, celebrating nothing other than the fact that you wanted people over to entertain? Reconnecting with the friendships that we have in our lives is a fantastic way to go about healing, because it reminds us that though we lost an emotional partner, this is not the only relationship that exists in our life. So what I want everybody to do in the comments below is to write out some of the things that they intend on doing with these words. Once again, the words are physical, emotional, recreational, monetary, intellectual, travel, and social. If you take the first letter of each of these words, it comes out to the word permits, so we'll use that for short. Personally, I'm really looking forward to reading some of your comments and seeing what you are all doing to allow yourself, or permit yourself, to live a good life and to allow yourselves to heal. Let's share our ideas as a community, because maybe some of the ideas and things that you're doing will help somebody else, and vice versa. So, until tomorrow's video, that's all I had for today. If you found my video helpful, I'd be very grateful if you'd subscribe and hit like. Please leave a comment below and tell me what topics you want me to cover in the future. Additionally, if you'd like extra videos every week, private live streams with me, and free giveaways of my book upon its release, just visit my Patreon. Patreon.com/thelovechat. Until next time.